Hey, what is going on, Sagittarius? Bush Arrow here. Today is the 18th. It is my birthday. And with that being said, happy birthday to all my Sagittariuses. Ones I may be late for, but reach out. Let me know when your birthday is. But like I said, either I'm late for your birthday, I'm sorry, or I'm early for your birthday. Happy birthday. I'm going to be doing a general read. Because it's general read, it may not resonate with everyone. It is for your sun, moon, rising, and your Venus. For your cross watchers, roles can be reversed. Always feel free to comment down below. With all that being said, let's get it. Universe, what message do we have? What message do we have for Sagittarius? What's going on for Sagittarius universe? Before we start, I apologize. It's 12:03. So it's after midnight, so it's not my birthday anymore. It's now the 19th. Anyway, I just thought I was thinking it was getting late. First thing I see is I feel like this is someone. This is someone that you already know, someone from your past. For some of you, it may be someone from a distant past, and some not so far away. But I do feel like you do know this person. And I feel like with this person, there's a lot of hot and cold energy with this person. You know, I feel like you had an incredible connection with this person. I feel like it was intense. But I also feel like it felt like there was something more. Like, it felt like this was your person. You know, everything felt real about this connection, but then that hot and cold, you know, I feel like this person almost like a self-sabotaging energy. And that's what I see. A lot of overthinking, a lot of keeping to themselves and not really opening up to you. You know, with that seven of swords, you know, kind of keeping secrets, not telling you how they really feel. And that four of swords, overthinking. But a lot of anxiety, a lot of late nights, a lot of stress. It's not because they didn't care. That isn't why they didn't show you. You know, they had much more to show you, but the reason why they didn't tell you is because I feel like this person, at the end of the day, I feel like this person has trust issues. I'm just going to be straight. I'm going to shoot straight to you. I feel like they had trust issues. You know, and I feel like this very defensive aura around this person. Like, once you started getting too close, once this started to get too real, it's like that's when the hot and cold shit started. And, you know, this person, it's like they couldn't accept what was right in front of them. Even though they knew what they wanted, they still know what they want. This person screwed up. They know they screwed up. We had the Four of Cups. This person thinks about you and only you still. And they know what they want. They knew what they wanted. And moving forward, they still want it. They want you. Emotionally, they can't walk away from it. Emotionally, they can't walk away from you. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of physical here, but I feel like there was a friendship as well. It wasn't just a physical thing, and that's why I feel like that's where it got complicated. That's where it was like, okay, I've been in physical connections before. This felt different. I feel like you felt different with this person. It didn't feel the same. It started off physical, so I feel like that's where it can get a little complicated. Especially when a relationship starts off physical. I feel like when you met this person, it was a physical kind of relationship. But in that, it's almost like it evolved into something more. And once we went to something more, I feel like that's when the problems started happening. And it's not, but like I said, it's not because they didn't feel the same way for you. Is they weren't allowing themselves to feel it. They weren't allowing themselves to show it. Very defensive. Like I said, I feel like this person has been hurt before. I feel like they've been screwed over. And they just weren't, that self-protection mode kind of came in. Self-preservation is how they saw it, but what it really was self-sabotage. They had something great. They had an amazing connection with you, and it was something that I feel like it's a lifelong bond. This is not something that ever goes away, and they're the ones that hurt the most. I feel like this person knows they made a mistake. Now, the thing is, I feel like this person is coming back. I do see this person wanting to reconcile. And I feel like it's not a surprise because we have the Three of Wands and the Ace of Wands, that reconciliation. The Three of Wands, like, you knew they were coming back. You knew they were coming back. You knew this wasn't done. You knew this wasn't over. I feel like for some of you, I feel like you really even knew exactly what was happening. But you weren't going to put the fire out for them. Sometimes when people self-sabotage, they think we're unaware that they're doing it. We know. A lot of times we know that you're doing it. But we're just going to let you figure it out. We could throw some water on you and put you out, but what are you going to learn from that? I mean, we don't want to commit to that and then feel like we always have to be doing that. It's better to let the person figure it out on their own, because then they can, it's like in life, if you have an issue and someone always steps in to fix the issue for you instead of you just taking care of it yourself. It's kind of like that old adage, if you teach a person, or if you give a person a fish, they eat for a day. If you teach them how to fish, they eat for life. It's kind of like that adage, kind of rings true here. Like, if you do it for them, then you're going to always be doing it for them. Like in that adage, I mean, if you're going to go fish and give that person a fish, you're going to go fishing every day for this person. It's going to be a lot of work. Or you can allow them to, you teach them how to do it, and then they can take care of it for themselves. They can feed themselves. And it's kind of like one of those things where, I can keep saving you, or you can learn to save yourself. But like I said, I mean, the feelings they have for you are real. And they're going to tell you that. The bond that you have with this person hasn't seen its true potential, and they want to see it. The connection that you have with this person, like I said, it's deep, it's real, and it's a lifelong connection. You didn't meet this person by accident. I just feel like it's the right person, wrong time type energy in the past. But they're getting there. They're really getting there. I see some huge changes in this person. One of those changes is letting go of that bullshit that was holding them back before. What's holding this connection back. And I feel like this person coming with this nurturing energy, ready to give to this connection, ready to show up for it, ready to make it work. Giving all they have. Because like I said, it wasn't just a physical thing for them. This person just needs to be honest with themselves. And I feel like, they needed this kick in the ass. And I feel like you're both coming out stronger because of it, with that strength card. And I see a foundation being laid. A foundation, like I said, I'm going back to it again because I feel like it's an important message that I'm getting here. Is you can fix someone's problems, but they won't learn how to fix them themselves. And then while you're fixing their problems, if you continue to do that, your own problems start kind of building up. Another kind of way to look at this, you're building a house, and you're a 4-wall house, and you're responsible for 2 walls, and your partner's responsible for 2 walls. If you're always trying to fix their walls, your walls will never get built, and you'll never have that foundation. You'll never have those 4 walls built sturdy. It's okay to show them how to do it once in a while or help them out, but if you're always on their side of the building, always helping them with their walls, eventually you're gonna get the walls up, but yours are still gonna be down. You're still gonna need that, and they can't help you because you help them. When you're doing something for someone else and you're always doing it for them, they never learn how to do it. So when you're done, finally finished helping that person do what they had to do, you go back to do what you did, and they can't help you because they don't know what they're doing. You want someone that's doing their share. With this person, we have Gemini and Aquarius. There's some Capricorn. We have some Virgo as well. Pisces, Scorpio, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. In a nutshell, I feel like this person needed to grow up, and that was exactly what happened. Sometimes the hardest choice is the right choice. Sometimes we just got to let them figure it out. And I feel like that's a message that rings true all through life. I talked about this before. It's kind of a little bit off topic, but it's kind of not really. It kind of has some relevance. When I was young, I was always my dad. I always lived with my dad. My parents were divorced when I was 3 months old. But I was always when I was old enough to choose, I always lived with my dad. My dad challenged me. He was very strict. He was a military dad. But I love the challenge. I love being challenged. And with my dad was one of those people. He believed, I remember chopping wood when I was 8. Chopping wood, stacking it, bringing it in the house, for a wood stove. And it's crazy to think about that because I have, my oldest son is 13. And to think of him even cutting wood, it just scares the shit out of me. But my dad let me do it. And I remember growing up my whole life, every time I made a mistake, my dad would have no trouble making me aware that I made a mistake. And my dad, the way he challenged me was by telling me about the mistake, pointing it out, and then asking me, where'd you go wrong? What did you do wrong? Never tell me. Let me figure it out on my own. I hated it when I was a kid. I really didn't like it. I was like, just tell me what I did wrong so I can fix it. But what that instilled in me was the ability to learn for myself and not need anybody. And that's what my dad always wanted for me. And he always, as an adult, he always told me, he said, your brother and sisters never learned that message, never got it. He said, you're the only one that ever learned it. Or he used to say 1 out of 4 isn't bad. They learned other messages, though. I mean, my sister is my oldest sister. She's one of the most loving people. My brother's a hard worker. And my other sister, she's very nurturing as well. We all have our strengths. And like my dad always said, he said, I just saw myself in you. And I just knew that, I could, like, not to throw shade on my brother. I remember he used to always joke around. He'd say, your brother, I always had to tell him what he did wrong. Because he'd be there all day if he didn't tell him. But that wasn't his strength. That isn't my brother's strength. My brother's a hard-ass worker. He's a Taurus. And my brother's one of those people that if you put him on a mission, he'll get it done, no matter what. But you got to give him the mission. And the mission, the details. My dad was like, with me, it was like, here, I want you to do this. I remember I had to build a baby barn. I was probably 12. It was a baby barn just big enough to put our lawnmower in and, our hedge trimmers and that sort of thing. It wasn't very big. It was the one with the 2 doors. We had a lawn tractor, tiller, stuff like that. And, I think it was an 8x10. Anyway, he bought all the stuff to build it. And this is, I don't want to throw my age out there, but this is before you could Google anything or YouTube it. He was like, I want you to build a shed. And he showed me a picture of what the shed should look like when it's done. That was it. That took me a month. Almost a month. I mean, and I didn't work at it all the time. But I got it done. And the thing that I look back and when I drive by that house that we lived in, that shed's still there. That baby barn is still there. Sometimes we don't learn the lessons, or we don't know we learned the lesson until later on. But anyway, the reason that was relevant is sometimes people just need to be pushed in the right direction, not given a map. Be good. Take care. Stay safe.